Well, joining me live is Candy MacLaughlin, General Manager of Skybury Farms. Thank you so much, Candy, for joining us. We spoke on Wednesday, the 13th of December here on Sky News. You were quite pleased with the way the winds weren't too strong, but talk us through what happened since then.
Yeah, I think the challenge for us still lies ahead. We're seeing changes to the plant's condition on a daily basis. The soil is still heavily waterlogged, and that's giving us our challenges. We still remain optimistic that we will be able to have some level of production, but we're estimating 30% losses at the moment. And it takes a long time for papaya to get up and running again, 6 months from the time we put it in the ground till we're harvesting.
And tell us a bit more about your papaya farm, how big it is and how much you provide the country.
So the papaya farm is one of the largest in Australia. On average, we're producing about 150 to 175,000 kilos per week. Last week, we managed to get back into the field on Wednesday afternoon. It was very steady going, just making sure that the trailers are only half full, that the teams are safe and happy. But they certainly were very glad to be back to work, and it was great to see the first produce leave the farm again.
And when we talk about winds, I believe that it takes only about a 50-kilometre-an-hour wind for it to affect the trees and the crops and so forth. But talk us through how the rain affects what how papaya grows and gets damaged.
So papaya is incredibly susceptible to having wet roots. So we talk about the water and the soil currently being waterlogged. So it's easy. The easy description is the trees are drowning. They cannot get oxygen, and they're basically going limp and falling over. The root structure of a papaya tree is very fragile. We know that in the dry season, the root structure shrinks, and in the wet season, it grows. So just coming out of a very long, prolonged dry season, the trees hadn't quite got their wet season feet under them. And so the little root structure they had has died off, and that's what's creating the losses for us.
And I believe it's one of the worst impacted in the region, papaya. How are you and your workers, your family, how are you all feeling about this?
A wave of emotions, to be honest. Trying to stay positive, and we all are. And we haven't lost, materials or buildings or so forth. It's just trees, and it's all recoverable. The greatest advantage we have is our nursery wasn't damaged through the winds because they weren't as great as predicted. So we have trees that we will start planting out on Wednesday next week, and we'll move forward from there. Our staff are very supportive. They've been fantastic. They've come to work every day. They've had a smile on their face. The family remains positive, and we'll plan again. It's living in this part of the region, you have to accept from time to time that Mother Nature is going to have a big play in your business.
And talk us through the next 6 to 12 months and your plan.
So we think that in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we'll be making decisions about the viability of some of the paddocks that we have in full production. So if there's less than 50% remaining, then we're looking at water costs, fertiliser, the cost to put machinery through there for spraying. If it's no longer viable, they'll be pulled out and fallowed. And then we just work through the process of replanting all those fallowed blocks. The bottleneck will come in the nursery and how many plants we can physically produce in a shorter period of time than what our traditional 12-month plan would look like. Very fortunate that we put additional capabilities in 2 months ago for different reasons, but now we can change direction and hopefully get us up and running. Like I said, though, 6 to 12 months just to get us back to having full production.
And tell us about papaya and the beauty of it and what people love about it.
I think it tends to remind people of their tropical holidays. Favourite of Fiji and Bali and all those amazing places. I love it because of its versatility. Papaya is great in the smoothie, or you can use it as a lunch salad. I also have a great curry recipe I use, so it's very adaptable. Swap it out for tomato or pumpkin. It's good value for money as well. It's quite a large product, can feed a family. And it's available all year. I think that, when you have something that's underpinning the tropical category, when other products are coming in and out, it's great for the retailers, and they love to support us in that space.
We're seeing a lot of sunshine behind you there, and we've spoken to a lot of people in your area and really encouraging people to head there for holidays, and certainly the Prime Minister has, and tourism operators and so forth. What would you say to people that perhaps are, second guessing whether they go on their holiday or not?
The same message, keep your plans. I was down in Cairns yesterday for a function. The road was very manageable. It's been well cleared up. Cairns was in full operation, all the businesses running, roads open, people in good spirits, and the weather is just amazing, as you can see.
And how is everybody? You were saying that, you're quite upbeat, but talking to other people in and around Far North Queensland, how are people generally feeling that you've spoken to?
It's a really mixed bag. There's some farmers out there who have actually enjoyed the rain. It's been beneficial for them. And then there's others who, have really lost 70% of their mango crop. It'll be challenging as we move forward. We have a great farming network up here, and we're very supportive of each other. So I think that continues to be the message going forward is look after your neighbours, ask the questions, get behind the communities. Here they're still, engaging mud armies and so forth. And I know that farmers are, sharing equipment to get their own facilities back up and running too.
All right, before we let you go, it's not only papaya you have on your farm. Tell us what else you have.
Coffee. Australia's oldest coffee plantation, and I'm happy to say that those trees have not missed a beat. They are carrying their crop for this year. Nothing was lost, and very excited to be harvesting that in June, July this year.
All right, coffee available for everybody. Thank you so much, Candy, and wishing you and everybody a wonderful Christmas. As much as you can, keep up that wonderful smile, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you very much.